Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ristar. This is Ristar CGDQ. So I'm a little bit discombobulated. This is CGDQ. We're here, Lizstar with Ristar. I might really like this game so much that I named myself after it. Um, I've run this actually before on GDQ, but last time I did, I'm pretty sure I said the words, I will play Ristar for any reason at any time if anyone asks me to. So they asked me to. So I'm playing Ristar. Um, Without further ado, I'm all set to go. Oh, before I do want to note, my CRT currently is not working. So I cannot play this game on my CRT. I have to use a different kind of weird setup that I'm not used to. There is input lag, and there are frame-perfect tricks. So that'll be a lot of fun. Whoopsies, I did not mean to already hit go. Come on. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna count us down. 3, 2. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, wait. It starts on input, so I'll count us down in a second. All right, 3, 2, go. That was I expected to have a little bit more time than that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ristar. This is my favorite game of all time. It is a 1995 platformer, just barely missing 1994. Very early 95, 94 being the best year in video games, of course. So it is what you'd expect from the era. It's your typical platformer, but it has a little bit more up its sleeve. The whole point of this game, the original idea was it was called Feel, and it was, let's simulate a game through touch. So you have Ristar here who can reach out and grab things, and you're trying to explore the world through touch. A lot of this involves grabbing on poles, swinging on poles, and the star poles, which I will explain in a bit, they are the biggest part of this game. Basically, when you grab onto them, you start swinging faster and faster until you get into what I call star mode. And then when you're in star mode, it's very difficult to control. However, it is basically the fastest movement in the game, so we use it a lot, like we're going to do right here. Give me a moment. Not quite. Perfect. Alright, so that is what we call log skip. Essentially, there's a log back there, and in order to get past it, you gotta, bump it a few times, and then Ristar stares at it and goes, oh wow, I knocked down a tree. And it's all very cute, because Ristar is adorable, but it's also all very slow. So the fastest movement is, of course, star mode, and then we can just jump right over it and save a bunch of frames. We're coming up on our first boss here. There are 2 levels. The first level always has a mini-boss and a boss. This guy has a trick to him. I call it assaulting the wizard. I'm going to be a little quiet while I set up my wizard assault. So give me a second. Perfect! Alright, so that's assaulting the wizard. And basically you bump all up on him, and the monkey on his back drops down. That's Riho. And you gotta hit the wizard 3 times to knock Riho off. But Riho always has his hitbox, so if you can reach your arms around the wizard in order to grab Riho, you can get a quick kill on. It is extremely difficult to do, and it took me a lot of practice. It is just precise movement. Moving on to the second world here. You might notice I'm playing on the Japanese version. The names are different on each of the world. There are a few other differences that we'll get to later. So y'all know how water levels suck and everyone hates them? These water levels rock, and I love them. Ristar is not like Sonic. He can move extremely fast in water, and it makes these water levels very quick and fluid, you could say. As long as I don't get caught on the geometry, it is quick and fluid. Quick, fun movement. I really, really enjoy the water stages in this game. The fastness of it really helps, especially with speedrunning. It makes these some of the most fun levels in the game. And here we have a mini boss who is a pretty simple mini boss. Just kind of wait for the enemies to drop down and then hit them as quickly as you can. Nothing else to it. Oh, I already see the discourse happening. There's some discourse with this game. How do you pronounce the name of this game? Is it Ristar? Is it Ristar? Or is it Ristar? Well, officially, if you are in Japan, it is Ristar. However, someone, the game historian, in fact, has asked Sega officials and gotten 3 different answers in English. So, you say it however you want. I think is the official thing. My go-to is for anything like this is, do I know what character you're talking about? If yes, there are probably more important things to worry about. I'm going to do something here, an attempt at frog jumping. There we go. Just get a quick hit up on there, otherwise you'd have to climb up on the ladder. So this level is a kind of a labyrinth in the classical sense, where it's just hallways and a bunch of rooms. And you want to basically solve a little mini puzzle in order to open up the next doorway. Like in this one, it's... In most of them, in fact, it's kill every enemy. Ristar can grab and slam his face into objects, which he does in order to climb walls. So we can get through that a lot faster. Normally you'd have to wait for the water to rise. This level, it's kind of difficult to maintain your health, especially with these squid mamas. Basically, it's very easy to take damage, but we should be good by the end here. It's a pretty simple level. It is, after all, only the second level. These squids, you have to do specific movement in order to hit them fast. Otherwise, that last squid baby will run away from you. If you go along the top, he doesn't run away from you. But if you go along the middle or bottom, he does. And here we have the first really, really obnoxious boss. Here we go. Hello there. This is the shark. He has a name. I can't remember what it is right now. I have very bad memory. He's a cute painted shark. He's very, very beautiful looking, and he's also a jerk. He is the biggest jerk in this game. Something I have not mentioned about this game yet is it is extremely RNG. It is an RNG nightmare. This boss is one of them. So far, he's giving us actually extremely good RNG. Basically, he has 6 attacks, 3 of which you can hit him during, and 3 of which you cannot. So, oh, he gave us perfect RNG. Oh, I think that's the first time that's happened, so that's beautiful. It is a 50% chance that he will give you an attack you can hit him in, and he will basically do, at max, 2 attacks you can't hit him in, and then a attack you can. So, you can sit there for a long time, and it's maybe like 1 minute and 40 seconds of variance, if with the worst RNG. And it sucks. It really sucks, especially in marathons. Here we are in Planet Scorch. This is the first level where like the game really kicks it up a notch, adds in the spice, and it is slowly getting more and more difficult. This game is one of the harder games on the Genesis for most people. I've watched a lot of people play this, and this is usually where they start losing their lives and continues. So this is actually a newer strat. We're going to escort this friend, this little statue of us, all the way to the end. It's pretty precise throwing. Oh, did not get it. Okay, that means I'm going to have to rely on, say it with me now, RNG. Oh my god, perfect RNG. Let's go. Once again. Okay, so usually you'd have to like go on a very long and winding platform. Excuse me, a very long and winding like pole swinging section. However, that statue can open up a secret hole, which we actually just found recently. and that gets you to a very quick section. This is boss, as Simon says. This boss sucks because it's the only thing that's stopping me from playing this game blindfolded. I've wanted to do that for years, and this boss is very rude. Did I do that backwards? I did do that backwards. Ooh, this is fun. Again, I said it earlier, I do have extremely bad memory, so... Simon Says boss is... Oh my gosh, did I really do that? I could have sworn that I got that right. Alright, let's try that again. This is just a slow, long, obnoxious boss. Worst boss in the game for sure. But when it gives you nice patterns, it can be really fun and fluid to bounce between the enemies. That is not a nice pattern. That is, like, the opposite of a nice pattern. That is also a pretty mean pattern, but that should be fine. Alright, good stuff. Now, this is one of the hardest levels in the game. You saw the log jump earlier. This level has 3 pole swings, so I'm going to be pretty quiet throughout this. Alright, so that one's the easiest. Basically, you just gotta get up there. This is the hardest. Oh, almost. A little late there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this health for safety. Nope, not quite. Again, I'm playing with input lag, which I'm not used to. There we go. It's not frame perfect, but it's pretty close to get that. That's one of the perfect swings. There is a swing that can get you all the way up here, but good luck. I'll get us over here. If you had a good swing bounce, it could carry you basically all the way to the end. But that brings us to the end of the level. It's a little rough. Here we have Adahan, the third boss. This boss is really tricky for newer players. Especially because at the beginning you can just lose health from RNG. This boss, again, has RNG. You'll notice I'm saying that a lot. There's a lot of RNG in this game. He can do 2 attacks. He's giving us good RNG right now. You want him to land on the ground. He can also float up in the air. Oop, almost. It's a few moments too late. So basically, after you hit him twice, he goes into this free-falling section. This is actually a super cool boss. This is a really awesome boss. You gotta have quick movement in order to bop him back down. If you miss him, you can hug one of the walls. Okay, see, here's the bad RNG. Not quite. There we go. So just a little bit slower. Okay, so you hug one of the walls and just kind of mash down, because you can kind of go in one of the 2 directions. It's impossible to tell what direction he's going, so I kind of just hang out in the middle and grab as best I can. So, you remember how the first few levels were actually pretty easy and there were no real problems with them? The rest of this game is just hard. Just flat out very difficult to speedrun. This next level is the hardest level in the game, with several pretty difficult tricks. It is also my favorite level in the game, but there are a few problems here. There's a frame-perfect trick. It has a 2-frame window followed by a 1-frame window. And again, I'm playing on input lag, so we will see how I do. Usually I can get it first try to third try. When I ran this at AGDQ 2018, I got it third try. Very proud of that. So we'll see. This is the God Cycle, what I am attempting to do here. By getting through this area as fast as I can and escorting this metronome. we are able to make a cycle that gets us to the end fastest, basically. Otherwise, we'd have to wait for this fan. Basically, we get here just as the fan starts blowing down. But hey, perfect God cycle, pretty good. Get this health. Alright, here's a... Oh, not quite. If you throw it just at the end of your jump, you can make it to the top of that platform with the metronome. Alright, here's the trick. I'm going to be very quiet for this. Nope. Hey, second try! I will take that. I will be very happy about that. Basically, you're supposed to grab the metronome and then go on a big winding path downstairs. That is incredibly slow, so instead we do that throw. There's a 2-frame window right at the end of the throw to get you going up where you're able to grab. Because you're not able to grab outside of star mode. And grab it and just throw yourself back over. So this is one of the other differences between the Japanese version and the American version. In the American version, these the notes floating above their heads are not there. You just have to guess. It's RNG, which means playing and speedrunning on the American version is really bad. However, it is also very expensive to get a Japanese cart. So unfortunately, this game has a bit of a price wall. I think one of the newer versions on Steam, though, allows you to play the Japanese version. I'm not entirely sure on that, though. Okay, so unfortunately, those birds are... They're not RNG, but they might as well be, where it can be very hard to hit them without taking damage. And there was a damage boost we could have done to save, like, a second. But, not quite. Yeah, there was also a pretty, not a low print run. Basically, Ristar was released really late in the Genesis's life cycle. It was released in early '95. Over in Japan, they just flat out didn't really care about it. The Saturn had already been out for a little bit, and it sadly got left behind. Which is a real shame, because in my opinion, this is one of the best games ever made, let alone just on the Genesis. And I know my Genesis. I really like the Genesis. I have been given the title of the Genesis Queen. I play a lot of Genesis. I do a thing on my channel called Genesis Quest, where I'm playing every single Genesis game ever made. I'm currently at about 275 games out of about 800. We're getting there. So this is Awek, and basically there's an easier strat on him. If you face left and grab up, you can get slammed back in the pole. Otherwise, you get slammed out of the arena, kind of like this. And you just have to keep going, like, back towards it. But if you grab up, you can just keep slamming back in the pole for a quick hit. Oh, is the game very quiet? I can turn it up a little bit. Oh, it is actually pretty quiet. Okay. There we go. So this is, it's a good thing I turned it up because this music is incredible. Let me know if I need to turn it up more. This is my favorite music in the game. This is Planet Freon. It's a good time to talk about Star Mode. Basically, Star Mode is, what I just got. Those crystals put you immediately into it. It's difficult to control, but you go pretty fast and can fly through the air. However... there's actually a way to go even faster. If you get out of Star Mode immediately after getting into it, your speed increases just exponentially until you land on the ground. So if you angle yourself correctly and launch yourself, well, you can go even faster. Here's the bully. Time for the bully fight. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I got that, actually. There is a way to do a quick hit on him. That was actually extremely fast. There's a way to do a quick hit on him by releasing the ball a few pixels above the floor. There is no real good indication, and it is very hard to do. But there's like a 3-pixel window of releasing the ball to get a quick hit that the bully cannot dodge. Well, technically the bully can dodge it, but only if you're extremely unlucky. But usually you'd have to wait for the bully to throw the ball, and you'd have to wait for Ristar to make the ball. One of the things in this game that Sega did a lot back then, actually, was there was a, if you stand still, you have an idle animation. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, because, haha, frames don't matter. So if you stand still, look at this, he's making something. What's he making? He's making a snowman. I was afraid it was taking too long, so I went ahead and left. You saw a few frames of that snowman. I was like, is it not working on this tiny platform? But he makes a snowman. But if you stand still in the boss fight, the last boss fight we just fought, you create snowballs instead. It's a very cute way to add in stuff about the idle animations. So these are slope jumps. If you grab up and diagonal, you're able to kind of change your direction on the slopes and move through them a little faster. However, it can also kill your momentum if you don't grab in exactly the right way. So slope jumps are a little bit dangerous. They save a good amount of time, like, you know, a good 6-7 seconds. But if you mess them up, you're losing a lot more time than you would have saved. So here we are. This is Eat 'em More Lunch. That is his actual name. I am not making that up. This is the boss with the least amount of RNG. His pattern is the exact same every time, but he can have 3 to 4 bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bully has become our friend because we beat him in a good game of Snowball. And he's giving us this curry to feed to, this friend. Eat 'em more. And, you might notice he's a cat. In the American version, he's actually a abominable snowman, because the Japanese have a concept called nekojito, which doesn't quite translate, and this is a reference to that. So they made him an abominable snowman that you melt with hot pies, as opposed to spicy curry. Either way, that means that officially the Japanese version is better, because it has a cat in it. And then the bully waves us goodbye. We've made a new friend, and off we are to the final real world in the game, Automaton. If you watched my speedrun of this last year at AGDQ 2018, I mean, basically 2 years now, I did a trick that I'm actually not going to do, because it is a little difficult on, you know what, actually, you know what, I'm gonna give it a few tries. Just because I like you a lot. Don't take that too seriously, though. It's a, basically frame-perfect trick to try and grab through a wall you're not supposed to grab through. I'm gonna give it just a few attempts here. I'm aiming for a very specific pixel on, this corner here. And you can go right through it. I'm about to give up. One more attempt. Nope. Alright, so let's just continue on. You can seriously be there all day. It is extremely rude. And if it decides it doesn't want you to have a run today, you're not going to have a run today. It is also the trick I am the worst at in this game. I'm really good at the frame-perfect weirdness that everyone hates. I got it second try in Sonata, but that I can't do. When Breakdown ran this game, he got it in about a minute. So he saved about as much time as I did by just leaving it. It's not that slow to just go the winding route you're supposed to go, but it does save time. So this is Commander Hat, who is one of the hardest bosses in the game. He has a few different patterns he can do, some of which are extremely rude. I love this music. I love this game. This game's so good. I hope you all are enjoying this. Alright, that is one of the biggest problems with this boss fight, is that attack I just did. Basically, when he comes down, sometimes your hands can just go through him, and then he's just floating up in the air forever, and you can't hit him. Alright, back to the, off to the last real level. This is another level, kind of like 2-2, where, we're trying to get through, these little rooms with puzzles. It's usually either, beat the bosses, beat, like, all the enemies, or, put the crystal in the, container here. Almost always put the crystal in the container here, but in order to get the crystal, you have to do something. This level is a lot of fun, and there's actually a trick named after me here. Because I'm a dummy, I didn't name it anything fun. I should have named it, like, the Goblin Bop, or something really cute like that, but instead, it's just called the Lizstar. I discovered a trick to save a few frames, which is about as much as you can save these days in this game. This is a pretty well grinded down game by my good friend Chubbis, the world record holder. It is a 2-frame window that I'll be attempting in a bit. The Lizstar, that is. Here it is. And I got it. Okay, so if you're rubbing against this platform here and not, like, walking under it, you can just do that. But only if you're rubbing against it, and it is a 2-frame window as soon as you get out of the, previous teleporter. And that's just a 25% chance of which one it will be in, and of course we got the worst, luck, but I did get pretty good RNG for most of this run, so I can't really complain. Here we are in the turtle tank room, as I call it. Another trick, actually, that I like talking about. There's a trick discovered by our friend Kick-Ass Pancakes. Basically, in the room with all the platforms, if you have them pancake you against the wall, it is called the pancake trick, the pancake glitch. You can hit the edge of the level, which always means the level ends. So the end of level music plays, but you teleport before the level can fully end. However, for some reason in the beta of this game, the level ends faster. So you can actually end the level quickly and skip the level in the beta by doing that. But no one speedruns the beta because it sucks. There's basically in the beta, it's always on hard mode, and while you'd normally be able to kind of barely control your star mode, you just can't control it at all in the beta, which really makes running it a lot less fun, because a lot of the fun of this game is the difficult and honestly pretty incredible tricks that we use using the star pole. I'm seeing a lot of love in chat. I love you all. Thank you so much. This is Iranim. He is a friend. He makes a lot of noise. Basically, when I'm attacking, and very shortly after, I have an invincibility frames, and I'm abusing that to always be inside of him and deal a lot of damage. And also, depending on where you are at what point in the boss fight, he has different attacks. So, as you can see, I intentionally took damage and then went left and then back into him to get him to do his Kamehameha Wave. And that allows me to hit him a lot easier. So, back there, that's Ionosis, who is the Kaiser Greedy's right-hand man. He is taking Iranim away to Greedy's Citadel. The story of this game is there's a evil dude named Kaiser Greedy, and he is taking over the world, taking over the galaxy using some kind of, like, mind controlling stuff, and the civilians of the galaxy pray to their goddess Aruto, and she sends her son. In the American version, Aruto was removed because I guess they imagined that a Spaka Gaijin would get angry if there wasn't, if we saw someone, you know, who wasn't Christian God. I don't fully understand. There's no reason behind it, but that's the only way I can think of to just straight up remove her and replace her with a dad instead. They also, by the way, made it so that Ristar is always angry in the American version, because American Kirby is always angry. Here we are at the last few bosses. This is a bit of a boss rush, just this boss and then the last one. Ionosis is here in Ibar 3000. I think it might be 5000. I don't know. That doesn't really matter. Here I'm doing what's called grab canceling. Oh, that's bad RNG right there. Basically, when I'm getting knocked back, I can grab down and, like, in the direction I want to go, and it halves my recoil, which allows me to hit him just a little bit faster. Also, you might notice he did that laser. Otherwise, that would have been perfect. When he takes the laser out, he cannot take damage anymore. So you just have to wait for that laser. And here we are at the final boss fight, so time should be coming up soon. This is one of the hardest bosses on the Genesis. This is Kaiser Greedy. His RNG is legendary, and I can only hope that I do really well. His first two phases are very RNG heavy, and then his third and final phase is actually the same every time, so hopefully no mess-ups there. He just teleports around, and you gotta try and handle the Orblets here as well as you can. He was extremely mean to me. Sometimes he can just decide, hey, I'm in the unhittable state, and you can't do anything about it, which is what he did right there. Okay, well that sucks. That's fine. Got him in his glitchy state. Oh, no! Okay, well, I got him in his glitchy state. If you hit him about 2 to 3 frames before he's going to teleport away, he starts flying around and doing his attack, and it is extremely difficult to dodge. It's okay, we got this. We got this, gamers. Capital G, gamers. Hopefully, Greedy will be nice to us. A guy with the name like Kaiser Greedy is definitely going to be a nice person, right? And time. Alright. Sorry, I had to focus really hard. There are a lot of Orblets there right at the end. Foo boy! Well, I got under my estimate, and that is all I really wanted. I've never gotten overestimate for Ristar, and hopefully I never will. Like I said, I will play this game for literally any reason at any time. All you need to do is ask. And if you want me to teach you this game at GDQ, I will. Just flat out. I will teach this game to anyone. When I started running this game, there were 4 people, myself included, who ran it. Now there are about 27, something like that. There's somewhere in the 20s. So I'm proud of the work I've done. I hope you all enjoyed. Next up, what's the next game we got? Oh, it's Altered Beast. That's right. Going from one of the best Genesis games to one of the worst. Bam! Dabbed on you. Okay, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Ristar, because I love it a lot. And if you've never played this game, I highly recommend it. Next up is Altered Beast with ZG, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.